time is lost in moving out the wounded. Specially trained sanitary companies take over the litter jobs and the business of unloading begins. Evacuation officers supervise. The disposition of each litter case has been decided. And so man helps man, and American teamwork proves itself once more, and the job is shortly done.
The 703rd Medical Sanitary Company was a U.S. Army African-American unit which included Lieutenant James W. Summerower from Chicago. Although not widely documented as an early African-American U.S. Army officer, nevertheless Lieutenant James W. Summerower trained as a medical administration officer and rose through the ranks after enlisting in February 1941. As an officer, he oversaw medical operations and the removal of patients from ambulances by medical personnel. His service career occurred during an era of significant racial segregation in the U.S. military when he was part of a pioneering group of black officers who helped pave the way for later integration. The 703rd Medical Sanitary Company transferred to UK in late 1943. The unit comprised of 4 officers and 120 enlisted men, based at Millbrook, Southampton, and attended camp on what are today playing fields, known as Green Park. There were 23 tents with only 3 floors, and as the park did not have drainage and wet weather, mud was the order of the day. Floors were eventually completed by September 17, facilitating a more homely aspect for personnel. The primary mission of the 703rd was to supply the litter, an American term used for stretcher teams for the evacuation of casualties to either a holding station or to transit hospitals. When casualties began arriving after D-Day at Southampton, the 703rd was assisted by the 2nd Platoon of the 736th Medical Sanitary Company. The role of a military sanitation company in the U.S. Army in a broader sense includes all measures to prevent or control infectious diseases, to conserve the health, or to maintain or increase the physical fitness of military personnel. Before the end of 1944, the 703rd was relocated to the Ordnance Barracks, and their mission was extended to include the outloading of Class II patients bound for America. Away from the docks on February 13, 1945, several hundred guests jammed a ballroom artistically decorated with crepe streamers of red, white, blue, and green, plus huge hearts spangled with witty inscriptions, to attend the 3rd annual dance sponsored by this Negro Medical Sanitary Company, stationed at the South Coast port. Guests arrived in large numbers at an early hour, some from Wales and northern England. Their presence reflected the excellent reputation for courtesy and kindness established by the unit during its 18 months in the United Kingdom. The orchestra played a variety of numbers, including local folk tunes with a distinctive American twist. The next day the unit moved to Camp C-27, and on March 18, 1945, the 703rd received notice of the award of the Meritorious Service Plaque with great pleasure, as they were the first unit of this type to receive the award. According to the citation, the 703rd Medical Sanitary Company performed their duties in an exemplary manner, often under the most adverse conditions. Personnel were noted for their enthusiastic willingness and cooperation in the execution of orders. This award was accompanied by a written commendation dated July 10, 1944, from the headquarters of 93rd Gas Treatment Battalion, stating, 1. I wish to commend the officers and enlisted personnel of the 703rd Sanitary Company for the excellent manner in which they performed their mission in the evacuation of casualties in Area C while under the jurisdiction of this headquarters. 2. Their adherence to duty and the efficiency of their workmanship were an important contributing factor in the saving of the lives of many of our wounded soldiers. An inspection by off-site high-ranking personnel on May 3, 1945 also found the unit superior in every way. The appreciation of the 703rd Medical Company was also recognized by the 217th Hospital Ship, St. Olaf. A letter dated March 9, 1945 to the port's evacuation officer stated, "We are particularly grateful to the officers and men of the 703rd Medical Sanitation Company. We have never associated with a unit performing so smoothly and efficiently. May we ask that you express to all concerned our gratitude." It is estimated that whilst based at Southampton, the 703rd Medical Sanitation Company unloaded more than 120,000 battle casualties from D-Day to VE Day, and during the same period loaded more than 30,000 patients headed for the United States. This operation involved more than 82 different ships and 18 different hospital trains, and represents better than 75% of the total number evacuated from the port.